Here we go. YouTube says that we are live. Let me just really quickly pop open my little mini here. Alrighty. It's in. I am so sorry. I realize that there's currently no viewers, but anybody watching this in the future, yeah, I was downstairs trying to fix a piece of furniture and don't have a clock down there yet, which is probably a good thing to get on an evening where I'm supposed to have a stream. Alright, here we are. I'm also trying to figure out an issue with a Discord server. One moment, please. Oh my gosh. I absolutely forgot that, well, I guess I didn't really forget there was a stream. I knew there was a stream, but I did not see the time. I should have brought a watch or at least my phone with me. Here we go. Just a quick picture for a friend as I get too excited and click on everything and delete the picture that I was trying to save for her. Here we go. Alright, and I think I gave her an image that's way too great. That's too big. Alright, yeah, I did. I did. This is what happens when you try to go too fast. You go slower. At least we have some nice music, right? Here we go. Whew. Alrighty. There we go. That should apparently close the window where I have everything up. Is it still okay? The stream is going. Okay. Wonderful. All of the technical difficulties. And we are back. We are indeed back. I don't know if it cut for anyone else but me. Yeah, I accidentally closed the window. Here we go. Okay, so we are back. We are back in our little game. 3 streams in. So we have very basic controls in. As I go get my controller. There we go. Got the very basic controls in. We have our little character. We can move him around. We can hide behind stuff, and the camera will detect when it's being obstructed, and like react as needed. Gray main camera, yeah. So let's just go over what we've achieved so far. So as we can see, we have the camera, we have a line, and currently it's not obstructed in any way, so we have a green line. And when you go behind something, you see it turns red, and then the target moves to be wherever it gets stuck. There we go. That was the first thing we worked on the first evening. And the second thing we worked on was this, being able to climb. So we go up to a surface, we click on the climb button, boop, we go up top. Go back down, climb, boop, we go up top. But as you can see, I wanted it set up in a way so that it wasn't just like you go to a very specific location and then you climb onto a or rather you appear at the very specific top. I wanted us to have a little bit of wiggle room. So like we have a large area here. If I'm looking in this direction and I press, you see I come up here, I'm in the middle and I press essentially wherever I happen to be looking at the time. There we go. Now it's definitely still something that I would like to get into where I have, you know, some sort of actual climbing animation instead of this instant teleportation. But this is what we got for now. If we go over to our climbing location, technically we don't even need a cube for that. Technically, we just have to put down a climbing location, and then wherever we happen to be in that bottom part, it will detect that we can climb, and then it attempts to make a line towards the like destination, I guess, and then it'll go there. So we could make some on the sides. Let's do that real quick. But before we do, climbing location. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. My bad. Project settings, debug. Where is my inspector, actually? Let's go grab the inspector first. Very important, the inspector. Project console. Am I blind? Debug. Actually, why is debug up here? Oh. That is the inspector. Debug is the mode we have it in instead of inspector. Well, that's fair. That was my mistake here. Okay, so we can have ourselves a climbing location. We could make a few more climbing locations, I guess, and go and place them. Oops. Okay, these are two different climbing locations. That's fine. All right, let's put this one over here. Give it a rotation, and it has been a little while, but I should be able to have some sort of grid lock. This is grid plane, opacity move to origin, increment snapping. I think this is what I want. So let's put this at like 90 for now, and turn it on. How do I turn it on? Let's see, global gimbal. Okay. I think this is what I want to click on, but it isn't working. Admittedly, I have not used Snap very much. Okay, let's just use this. So if I turn this over here, it goes up by 90, so I'm just gonna do plus 90. There we go. Problem solved. There we go. And we can go ahead and just click beside it, apparently. Let's put this over here. And I want to do the same thing for climb 2. So size. Let's do this over here as well. I could change the prefabs, but I'm not sure I want to do this on all the prefabs. So let's just go ahead and add this in here. There we go. Oops, no, it'll be this way. And I want it to go, I think, up to here. Maybe I'm wrong about that. It looks pretty good though. Something like this. So if I select this guy and this guy, yeah, there's a little bit of overlap. I think that'll work. So we need to exit play mode. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like hearing that. Copy. Yeah, it got rid of it. So that's why it was in blue, and that's why I was confused. I was in play mode. Here we go. So I have it set up over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and add another one, a new clone. And we're going to go over here and do add 180 to flip it over here, and just put this somewhere here. Something like that. So I select them all. One moment, please. Here we go. And now I climb to reduce that to 313. What are the others at, actually? Pretty close to 313. Okay. Let's just select all of these guys. Yeah, that looks good. Let's just move this over a little bit. I didn't place it very well, to be honest, at the start. So now if I click on play, I should be able to climb up on any of those sides. There we go. I come over here, click. That was the original. I come over here, click. See, I can climb on any of the sides. Wonderful. And of course, this guy, we could do it real quick as well. Grab this, duplicate. Let's go into like side view and orthographic. And just move this up to, say, here. Get out of orthographic. See if I messed it up. Not too bad. And you see the height is a little bit different here. So I'm going to go ahead and just lower this. Save. Perfect. And now if I go into here once more, I should be able to climb all the way up now. So let's go over to this first hurdle. Climb, second, climb. You can get to the top now. And of course, if we don't stick a climbing location, it just, you can't climb at all. Ooh, that was interesting. Oh, look at that. Okay, so we've encountered our first bug. Or or I'm just dumb. Give me a second. Okay, that there. No. Okay. Yes. So this guy, you should be able to go in to it and climb up. Ooh, why isn't that working? That's interesting. Here we go. Okay. Oh, wait. If I go in and I look the other way and I click. Oh, I can kind of cheese it. Is it because the box is too big? Maybe that's the issue. Let's see. Let's shrink this box just a little bit. Let's see. Can I still... No, I can't anymore. That was the issue. So I can climb up here. But if I can't like clip into getting to the top anymore. Okay, good. Very simple issue. All right. There seems to be an issue on one of our Discord channels. Okay, there we go. All right, so back to what I was saying. We have our climbing, we have our walking, and the next thing we'd want to do, and like I was saying, like we don't have the animation for the climbing, and it's essentially teleportation right now. It's not the best. It could be a lot better, but I think we're going to go ahead and wait for wait for having an actual character before messing around with like having it wait for a certain amount of time. And then I'm already thinking maybe we should have like something so that like it'll detect where the hands should go and the feet should go when climbing and all that. We're not doing that right now because that would be very difficult to plan ahead. Let's put it that way. Here we go. So what we're going to do today, first off, I'm going to fix this. Here we go. What we're going to do today is, let's not worry about that. I know they're no longer prefabs. Is try to fix something that we had just started on last time. We have a player state component over here, and we're going to want to have a right now very simple player state machine. Where the idea is you only ever have one state at a time. So it's either idle, moving, climbing, or locked, and it's never doing two things at the same time. So you can more easily control like the actual game mechanics for it. Current state equals player state, private player state. You know what? I'm going to go over here and just do serialize field, even if I will never actually need to click on it and change it manually. It'll at least give me here what state he's currently in. All right, so we have our player state component. Let's go over to the movement component. Control type, okay. Turn speed, move speed. Player state component required. Player state component is added on awake. Fantastic. And control case keyboard. What we're going to do, previous y equals that. Rigid body velocity equals, okay. What we're going to do, joystick input, is lose track of what we were thinking about, but more importantly, reuse some of this. I'm thinking I can get rid of, because only one of these two will ever be true at any given time, so maybe I don't need joystick input as its own vector. I'll just have input, right? This should give me a bunch of errors. Fantastic. Let's solve them. Here we go. There are faster ways of solving, like doing Control H, so you can just replace things, but we only had like 3 instances of input, so meh. Here we go. Input equals new vector 3, open close parentheses. Maybe we could actually have a vector 2. Vector 2. Which one is this? Previous y, x and y. Okay, vertical is going to be input speed vertical here. This will be x, and this will be y. Here we go. Where is it? Right there. And we can reuse input x and y here instead. And the advantage that'll give us is we have this variable holding on to if there's currently any input, so we'll be able to say that the character is either moving or idle based off of that. So let's do that. Input velocity, this velocity x. I'm sorry. Vertical, horizontal. I did this backwards. Okay, sure. The down part about trying to explain what you're doing as you're doing it is you're not paying attention to what you're doing. Or at least that's the case for me. There we go. Let's grab this and do X. And then we're going to do this. No, I did it wrong again. This is Y and the other one is X. Realistically, should have inverted those two. Oh, wait. No, that's wrong. Let me read this again. So rigid body velocity equals this is forward. Okay, so this is y. Input dot y. Okay, and this is left or right. But not this one. This one here. Right. So input dot x. Right. And now if input dot, I think it's magnitude, returns the length of the vector is bigger than 0, we're going to set the player state to moving, and otherwise we're going to set it to idle. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do it this way. We're going to do this player state dot. I think we can't currently set a state. Player state dot that returns the current state, and we could have a get current state, and we could have a set current state. Public player state set current state. And we're going to take in a player state. No, this is void, I'm sorry. Very distracto tonight. So the current state is going to equal state. For now, this is all we want. We just want to be able to set it to that, and we want to be able to get this current state. You can also in this have like transition states and stuff like that. In our case, we're just not doing that. So set current state to player state dot moving. Oh no, this is it. Okay, so underscore, this is where we're doing the input dot magnitude is bigger than 0. Is it? Because if it is, then we want to set it to moving, and if it isn't, we want to set it to idle. There we go. And we can get rid of our if statement. Just have it set up in a single line. Maybe give ourselves a little double brackets here in which we say set movement state, something like that. Don't know why I capitalized that. We're going to copy. And this is actually something that's going to be happening in both cases. Let's leave it there for now. Because as I'm thinking this through, I'm realizing that there's also going to be like falling to be added to this that I haven't taken into account. Let's add this here. So climbing, falling, locked. Wonderful. Movements. And now I need to do something for... this should be get. I'm sorry. Get current player state. Right. This should be idle equals idle. It should go in. Or player... Oh, I did that wrong. Or player state. Player state dot get current player state equals player state component dot player state dot moving. Potentially also falling, but see, if we wanted it to be falling for it to act a little bit differently, we could use that and just say if it's falling, do that instead. Right, so right now it's only going in if it's one of those two states, and it's going to be setting it to either idle or to moving based off of if we're giving it input or not. All right, let's pop on over to Unity once more and just see if that's working or if we messed it up. So it's currently idle, and if I start moving, idle, 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 moving, idle. Okay, so we have something that's doing what we initially wanted it to do, have it either moving or idle. Here's the thing though. If we fall, it stays in moving because there's nothing detecting if it's currently falling. So, how do we want to do that? Essentially, this is going to be a little bit different because I was initially going to be just thinking, you know, if the y velocity is heading downwards, then he's falling. But here's the thing: if he's going down this ramp, his y velocity should also be going downwards. Very small amounts, but it should still be doing it. So I'm left with two choices. Either I decide that I want it so that if it's going downwards at a certain speed, that I start considering it falling, which might make it so that if it's going down a steep incline, it might detect it as falling, which might be what we want or might not be what we want, to be honest. Or what I can do is detect the collision of the capsule, see if any of that collision is happening underneath it, and if it isn't, have it considered to falling. And I think that's what we're going to do. I'm expecting it to have slightly less issues, but who knows really. So let's go back over to Visual Studio for a moment. And do we have a collider in here? Let's see, rigid body. We have the rigid body, we don't have the collider for it. Here we go. Let's select a player. The player does have a capsule collider. Here's a question though. Can you get to the capsule collider through the rigid body? Constraints, collision detection, discrete, use gravity, mass info, sweep, awake, sleep state rather, okay. All right. I don't think so. Let's do one more check, or just like, I guess here. Rigid body dot call detect collisions, collision detection mode. No. Okay, we don't have access to it. That's fine. We'll go over here, right under rigid body, do private. You know what? Let's give ourselves just a little bit of choice here in the matter. Let's put this here. Instead of float, we're going to have collider. We're going to call this, let's just call it collider for now. And we can change it if ever we have different uses for it down the line. We'll set it to null. I think I said this before. Setting it to null like this. I'm pretty sure it does nothing. I'm pretty sure it does that by default, but I've been told that someone has had an issue in the past where they didn't do this and it caused them trouble, and since then I've just been putting it in out of you know, fear, really, that I spent 3 hours trying to look for my issue when it turns out that I didn't have it null. All right, so this is going to be the collider used to detect ground collisions. Let's do that. And collider. If let's just do the stupid check now, and if that doesn't work, we'll do a slightly smarter check down the line. So if collider dot is it hit? Is it, what is it called? There should be something for me to have the current collisions. Contact offset value of this collider. Oh, what's contact offset? Collider contact offsets. And I'm gonna drag it over here so we can all see it. Contact offset, what is this? Colliders whose distance is less than the sum of the contact offset values will generate contacts. Oh. That's like the distance from the actual collider if you have a... Okay. Okay. So what do we have access to in the collider? Attached rigid body, attached... Oh, we have access to attached rigid body. So we have access to the rigid body through the collider, but we don't have access to the collider through the rigid body. Got it. We have bounds. Enabled. Has modifiable contacts as trigger. No. Material name. Shared... Oh, send message upwards. This is interesting. Shared material tag transform. And I didn't read any of the purple ones. Get type, get instance, get hash, get components. Closest point on bounds. Closest point. Broadcast message. Okay, no. What we need to do to access the information I want is to physics, not physical material. Physics dot let's see, spherecast, raycast. What else do we have access to in here? Boxcast, bounce threshold, checkbox. Check capsule? What is this? Checks if any colliders overlap a capsule shaped volume in void space. Assuming this also obviously detects itself, and it's going to return a bool. So it's going to tell you if it's happening. It's not going to tell you any information about it. Okay. What else do we have access to then? Default, contact offset, physics scene. Overlap capsule? What is this? Check the given capsule. Oh, good. It takes in a point. Okay. And returns all overlapping colliders. Okay. Raycast, rebuild. Sphere cache. Okay. I might not actually be able to do what I want in this manner. So let's just go down here and do on. Oops. Back. On collision. On controller collider hit. On controller collider hit. Uncontroller collider hit is called when a controller hits a collider while performing a move. Interesting. On collision stay is going to keep detecting it over and over. On collision enter Okay. This isn't giving me what I was hoping it would. So let's do physics dot like maybe capsule cast? Let's do capsule cast and see what it gives us. You see there's 8 different versions of it, so let's do this to F12. Now we have a list of them. So what are our options here? Point. Okay, so there's none of the capsule casts that actually use the colliders. That's interesting. Boxcast all. Let's see. Raycast hit. Capsule cast all. check box, center half intense, check capsule. Let's see. Okay, this might not be what we want either because it's not using the actual collider. So collider, let's see what else we have access to in here. Closest point on bounds, the closest point to the bounding box of the attached collider. Okay, that's an interesting thing to look up. Bounds. The world space bounding box. Read only. What do we have in here? Size extends contains. Oh. Let's see. Let's leave this here just for now. If collider. It's not what we wanted to check for, but that's fine. Let's have on collision. Enter. That gives us a collision. Okay. And collision will give us like what I actually want, right? Contacts, contact count, get contacts, impulse, blah blah blah. So I could go to contacts and then do dot and length. Okay, that's like all the contacts. Okay, so we could do something like for each collision contacts, for each contact point. What's in contacts? Let's look. Collision dot con. I didn't ask you to capitalize that, buddy. Contacts. And what is this? This is a contact point. Okay, it is a contact point. Each contact, point in collisions contact. And I could go in that and do like point dot normal. Normal of the contact point. Point other collider, point separation. Okay, normal is what I want. So then the idea being paint. Let's open this up a little bit. Here we go. So if I have a floor and I have my collider that's touching the floor, it'll give us a contact point down here, right? Let's give it a little dot or something. Right down here. And this contact point is going to have a normal. So whatever that point is going to probably say normal is going in that direction for that point. Right? And based off this, I can know if I'm touching a floor or not because the floor should be flat. It might not always be flat because if we have an incline such as this, it's going to be like, actually, you know what? Hold down shift. It's going to be about 40 degrees incline, right? So the contact point is going to be like, or rather the normal for it is going to be something like this. Here. But still we'll be able to detect the angle at that the contact point and be like, after a certain distance you're essentially falling, under that you're fine. However, to do that I need access to the collision, not the collider. So collider dot contact offset collision. So the collider doesn't actually give you access to the current collisions that it's encountering, which I'm surprised by. Okay. Yeah. So collider, how do you get collisions from a collider? Unity, get collisions from collider here. Collision.collider. No, I want the opposite. Collision from collider. Collision.collider. Collider.onCollision enter. Yeah. This is an actual how to detect collisions on a certain collider. Let's see. Collision. So collision enter. Option A, add 3 empties and add 1 collider each. Add a script to empties that on collision enter, on trigger enter. Yeah, it's using the enter here. He's using the enter here as well. So I guess enter and exit is exactly what we want. And just detect if that's like a floor, I guess. That's a bit weird. How do you check collision collider in Unity? Add component sphere collider, blah blah blah. Collision detect in Unity, C# corner. Step 1. Yeah. This is a little bit more basic than what I'm looking for. Yeah, they want you to add a physics material. That's probably for the best. We didn't do that. We're lazy here. On trigger enter, yeah. They're using on trigger enter. Okay. What we can do then, contacts offset. Contact offset, yeah, okay. What we can do then is 2 different things. Either we use on collision enter and on collision exit, and we just assume that when we're exiting, oh, I just had half an idea and it might be good. What we could do, because okay, let me start actually saying my thoughts here. On collision stay, I was going to do this right. On collision stay, it's called once per frame on every collider rigid body that is touching rigid body or collider. Fantastic. This is probably what we want to do because it's going to go over and over and over, see what's currently colliding with it, and potentially if there's nothing colliding with it, you know, it's in the air. If there is something colliding with it, then we check, is it grounded? So is that what I was saying earlier with the, you know, this little diagram? If the normal of the collision is going upwards, or at least upwards-ish, then it's you know, it's not falling. The problem with this, with using on collider collision stay, is that it is running every single second, and or rather every single frame per second. So we might as well just have an update loop extra here. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to do up here, I'm going to use the on collision enter. I'm going to check if the thing is currently like environment, and we'll create a new layer or something for environment. And if it is, it's going to add itself to a list. And then on update, we're going to check if there is anything in that list. If there isn't, it's falling. If there is, then we're going to check what direction that collision is. Give me a second. I think that will work. It will not, because these are collisions, not colliders. Oh, that's frustrating. So we actually do need to check every frame to see what's currently touching it. Unless there's a better way, but I don't see it right now. Okay, let's do it the stupid way. Private, no, on collision. Let's just bring this back for a second. I think I broke it. Yeah, I did. Okay. On collision stay. We're going to use it. we're going to use it. Okay, on collision stay. And we're going to have private bool right over here is grounded. And on collision stay is just going to go through the list of collisions, which on collision stay is called once per frame every collider rigid body that is touching it. This is essentially what we want. And we're going to do if collision, because now we have access to the normals, contacts. Oh my god. The collision can have multiple contacts. I'm sorry. The contact point generated by the physics engine. You should avoid using this as it produces memory garbage. Use get contact or get contacts instead. Okay. Get contact gets the contact point at the specified index. Oh my god. Okay, get contacts. There we go. This is not working how I want it to. Is there a better way to do this then? Collider collisions. Yeah, this doesn't give us the contact points, so it's not telling us if we're going in the right direction. Alright, well, I mean, we can do it the stupid way even more for now. If... Oh my god. I was gonna say if the collision is empty, but that it won't trigger if it's empty. Unity wants me to do it some way, and I don't know what way it wants me to. Okay. There's always like also the other way of doing things, right? So, all right, let's do it the other stupid way. Private bool get grounded is grounded. Okay, this one I really don't feel. If is grounded. So if it's grounded, do that. If it's not grounded, don't do anything. And what I'm going to do is use physics, not material, physics dot check sphere. What is it? Returns true if any are overlapping the sphere defined by position and radius and world coordinates. Okay, now I want a sphere cast. Check capsule, check sphere, no. Overlap box, nope. Sphere cast. Here we go. Open close parentheses. Select it. F12. What do we have access here? We have access to two different ones. It could either be a ray with a radius, or it could be an origin with a radius and a direction, which is, you know, comes back to the same road. Okay. Let us go back to movement controller here. Is grounded sphere, and we're going to use an origin, which is going to be the collider. And that position, I guess, center? Center. Oh. I'm sorry. Bounds. Dot center. Suggest center of the bounding box. I don't think that's world position though. Extends max size. Sure. We're gonna find out if it's world position. Okay. And now radius is going to be collider. Actually, you know what? Capsule slider. Let's give it a specific type. Okay. This takes an origin. It takes a radius. Is still the case. I just want to double check. Collider dot bound center closest points. There's nothing to have like access to what we want, right? The current collisions. Height has multiple contact. Height flags, trigger, material name, radius. We do have radius though. Raycast. Share material tag. Blah blah blah. We do not. Okay. Good. Back to what we were doing. So center, then we want the radius. So once again, collider dot radius. Perfect. And max distance, it's going to be center. Let me just check real quick. Plus collider dot bounds dot min. The minimum point of the box. Oh. The extent of the bounding box. This will always be half. Oh, hello there. I just saw someone pop in. This is always half the size of the box. Okay. The minimal point of the box. This is always... Okay. Here's my question though. What does min mean? Does that mean the bottom, or does that mean like the bottom left, or the point at the bottom left, or whatever that would be? Okay. Okay, let's do that. Radius. And then I guess extends. What do I need here? Max distance. Okay, so let's do underscore collider dot bounds dot extents dot y. Let's give it like plus, or I guess minus 0.1f, something like that. All right, and now it wants a layer mask. So let's give it some sort of layer mask, but let's also make sure that YouTube knows that we are still listening to that music. Here we go. Music acquired. Sphere cast, blah, 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 blah. Layer mask. Do we have a layer mask already set here? I can't remember. Turn speed, move speed, collider, control type. No, we do not. Was in climbing component that we got a layer mask? Nope. I can't remember what we used it for now. If we used it in this project. Maybe I'm misremembering. Climbing location. Maybe we started using it and we changed our mind. Cam follow? Maybe it's cam follow. All the questions here. Let's see. Layer mask. Yeah, this is where we used it. Okay. I wasn't forgetting too much, so environment. No capital E. Thank you very much. There we go. It's grounded, blah, 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 blah. And we add in a layer mask. And there's a thing going off behind me. Let's see. Center. Okay. What is it telling me here? We need an origin. We have that. That's a vector 3. Physics metadata. Okay. Vector 3. Then we need a radius, which is a float. And we have a float. then we need a direction. Aha, there's the problem. Direction, hit info. Okay. I see. I was getting confused then. Okay, so we have the radius, then we need a direction. So let's do transform dot down, up. That's our direction, except we want down, so let's just put it negative. And then we need a layer mask, so let's call it environment mask. Here we go. Right after direction though, we need a hit info. Out raycast hit. Okay. Let's have an out raycast hit here. So we're not just constantly collecting in the garbage collector. Raycast hit. Let's just call it temp hit. Something like that. Go over here, transform up, temp hit, out, temp hit. There we go. So temp hit is going to be updated based off of whatever it happens to hit. It should only be looking for environment mask stuff. And if this is a raycast hit, okay. If temp hit, what does this give us access to? Ooh, normal right here. Perfect. The normal of the surface hit by the raycast. If the normal dot y, right? Remember, we want this number here, so this should be 1 and this should be 0.5. It is greater than 0.5. Then we're going to say like it is grounded, otherwise it isn't. So let's just do return this. I really absolutely hated this way of doing things previously, and then I got used to them, and I like them a lot more now. So returns, is this statement true? If it is true, then we're going to return true, and otherwise we return false. So you know what, we don't even need that. We're just going to do this. It returns if the statement is true. So if the normal of the y is bigger than 0.5, it returns true, otherwise it returns false, and it's only checking the environment mask that we're going to give it. That should be all that we need. Fantastic. So I'm going to click here, give it a second. Player state component movement, nothing. No, I want it to be environment actually. Can I? Oh yes, look at this. Everything except for the player, the UI, water, yeah. Not ignore raycast, transparent FX. Yeah, so only default. Cool. And now let's go back to our script. If is grounded, this is what we want. If it is not grounded, so else, we want to just set the state to falling. Just pop out of this. So that dot falling. Here we go. Just set it to falling. Right now it's going to keep setting it to falling over and over and over every update tick, but that's fine. That's fine for now. Okay. Here we go. Let us see if we can make this turn into falling. Hello? Well, there's problem number one. I forgot to assign the collider. That's not going to work. Here we go. Give it a little save. Here we go. Yep. Okay. So we're moving idle, moving idle, moving idle. I'm going to go up onto this, and you see we are moving. We're not falling, and we're going to fall soon. Oh. Oh, did you see that? It turned to falling, and I don't have anything bringing it back to moving or idle. So it's currently staying at falling. Oh, that's not 100% true. Okay. So on update, it goes through is grounded, which casts a sphere cast. And it looks for the environment mask. And it returns if the normal is bigger than that. Well, you know what we could do? Just do a debug. Log error, sure. And we're just going to give it something to, oops, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. Something to return. So collision. Let's do like collider bounds. Temp hit. Hit. Dot. I guess whatever the transform is. That. I'm hoping it's what it collided to. Is returning. And then once again, we'll do this. Excuse me. This. Okay. So temp hit dot normal. I want to know what this normal is. Okay. Give it a little save, and it's gonna absolutely spam us down here, but that's fine. See, we're seeing it return 1, which is what I expected. So y is 1. And as we go up on this, oh, we got different values. So we got 0.5. Then we got back to 1. And then if we fall, oh, okay. This returns 0 a few times. Collision, nothing is returning 0. And then it just stopped. Oh no, it's gone back to 1. It's gone back to 1. I know what's happening here. I see what's happening here. Okay. So it is not in either of those two modes. So it's never going back. If it's grounded and it's one of those two, do that. Otherwise, we're just going to do a little else. Here we go. And what we're going to do in there is just set it to idle for now. Idle. There we go. That should fix our little loop. And actually, you know what? I'm so confident about this. I'm just going to remove this. I like that. Do a little save. Give it a little play. There we go. So, idle, moving. Alrighty, let's go onto here. Falling. Interesting. So, I think that's actually correct. That's not an error. So what's happening right now is we're doing this sphere cast, right? Starting from using the actual bounds of this little collider, this little capsule collider. And it's going down. But you see it's hitting this edge here. And I have a feeling that this is underneath 45 degrees for whatever reason. I'm not sure exactly what that would give. Hitting this, but it would be less than 45 degrees. Therefore, we are considered falling, which is actually a bug that I've seen in multiple video games in which you like get stuck between a triangle kind of thing, and it just doesn't work out for you. Okay. All right. You know how else we could detect falling? Based off our Y velocity like we were originally going to do. So, here's a little thought, right? Is grounded is using this. Is this bigger than this? But we're also going to add in and rigid body dot velocity is bigger than magnitude? No, dot y is bigger than, is velocity would be falling, so less than 0. So if the velocity is at 0, we are grounded, even if hypothetically speaking, even if it's not hitting anything. At least this is what we're going to assume for now. Let's see if we can fix that now. Have a little benum, our little capsule man, and it's not working because we are falling apparently. So our velocity is 0. There is the daddy in my basement. By the way, great job. Thank you. I'm not sure about the daddy comment, but thank you. Here we go. So if the velocity in y is smaller than 0, I guess we want bigger than 0 then. Though that doesn't sound right. If the temp normal is that direction and is bigger than that and the velocity, I guess that would be 0, and it is 0 in that direction. So equal 0. There we go. Let's try that. Here we go. All right, idle moving. How about if we bump into this side now? Can we reproduce that? Nope. So velocity of y is 0, and it is still considered falling. That's not right. So if the velocity, if the hit thing is in that direction, let's pull our image back out. So if our normal is in that direction, or at least higher than 45 degrees, which is 0.5, and the rigid body velocity equals 0, so the issue here, or this should be or, the rigid body is 0. I think that's our issue. Select that. Okay, we have the idle moving stuff. Let's move over to here and give it a little side bump. It is idle, moving, idle. Okay, it seems to be working. And if I jump off the side, falling, moving, idle, that's perfectly fine. That's what we like to see. So is there a world in which we break this? It doesn't look like it. What if we slowly slide off? Here's a question. It kind of does. It kind of triggers between falling and moving. Just so. I wanted to, here we go. This is considered moving. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but otherwise we are getting what we want. So, go up. There we go. We don't have control over it as we're falling. So if I flip backwards, no. See, it only flips once it hits the ground. Good. So we have something that's kind of working. It's a bit messy, but it is working. Boop. 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 See, I'm not just messing around and wasting time. This is actually testing. This is part of the work. Okay. I'm really enjoying having the guy fall now. Alright. Okay. So we have something that seems to be working. Let's give it an ultimate test, because I was saying that this is actually something that you see in video games sometimes, right? Where they get stuck in like a V. So let's just make a little V. Like a V slide. Let's have this rotated here, 45 degrees, and here, 45 degrees. Let's squish it down, something like that. The second 45 is not what we want. Here is where we want the 45. Plus 45. Or not. Okay. Where is what we want? Let's have it global and just spin it like this. Okay, so 0, something. I think this is 45. Okay, yeah, that is 45. All right, so I was right. This is what we want. Okay, 45, and if I do 45 here, it goes too far. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do then, squish this down to something like this, pull this out to something like this, duplicate it, go over here, do plus 180, no, plus 90. So we have our little V slide, right? We can move this up a little bit, something like that. Get a proper V slide in. Okay. And now we're going to go into this mode, put ourselves into global. Ooh. This isn't going to work. Local, global, center, global. This rotated a little bit, it's going to screw everything over. Let's just do it by hand then, and hope for the best. Something like that. Something like this. Nice little V slide down, and then we can see how it's going to interact with that, because this, like I said, is something that kind of goes crazy in a lot of games. Here we go. Starting it up, going over to our little block castle. Go up this, and we're going to select our player once more so that we can see what it's going to do here. So we're at idle right now, moving when we're moving. And if we go to the slide, what does it give us? It's saying we're moving. Uh-huh. I'm not against that, mostly as like, I guess we kind of want that. Oh, okay. All right, what if I can't actually go up on this? Here we go. What if we take our 2 cubes again, go into rotate, just like make it a lot more intense, the drop. Global, yeah. Let's just move this over to here. Move this down. Move this over to here. Here we go. So once again, select the player so that we can see our state. Make sure this is selected, and as we go down, it's considered moving. Yeah, it's considered moving. Okay. Well, that gives us some potential future bugs, but it kind of works. Oh man, I can just see like people finding ways of exploiting this. But yeah, we don't have it constantly in a falling loop because our speed is not 0. Actually, it's not 0. So I guess whatever the collision is higher than 0.5? Maybe that's the issue. Maybe we can mess with that number a little bit. Have it instead of 0.5, it has to be bigger than like 0.75, right? Anything under 75 is just too angled. Let's give it a test and see what we get over here. So we have a character. He's walking over to the first and lowest of the things here. And yeah, he is considered climbing and, or rather moving. And if we go over here and we go up to here. Oh, you see? We're considered falling. And it's really, really awkwardly kind of spazzing out here. It kind of works though. So yeah, we can mess with that variable to give us like how much of an incline we want to allow people to go up and down, which is pretty good. Okay, so let us pause that for a moment. Go back into here, give it a save. We don't need it because like we just saved to test. But go over and climbing here. We have to do the climb. And right now we're just instantly teleporting them. Do we want to do we want to cheat it? Because what I was going to do, right, is have the character like do an animation and then IK its hands onto a location so that it looks like it's trying to climb and just go down to countdown timer, but the position actually moved, and I don't think I can't do that right now, but maybe I just want to nerd. Of course you would pop in just as I'm trying to think of how to do this and like gibberishing. Yeah, so we have climb, do the climb. Right now it's just moving. Yeah, let's leave that alone for now. I was gonna say let's set up climbing as the player state so it locks it out of falling, but it just doesn't make sense right now because it's teleporting up. Done splitting my hives and I got to harvest some honey. Oh, no kidding! Oh, congrats! Are you, do we get some of that honey? How much honey did you get? Let's see. So we have a little character and he climbs on things. He can kind of sort of use a slide. It's not very nice. I think for now, it's definitely something to refine, but I think for now we're just going to leave it as 0.5. Just because if the slide is too inclined and it detects it as a slide, as a fall rather, it's very noticeable. And right now we can use like the nice little incline. Here we go. Go up stuff. And it doesn't always do the best actually, which is it's kind of nice. FFS, oh no. As I said, I'm waiting for the next part to that thought as I spin around in circles. I spun my extractor for the first time and probably got about 2 mason jars, but I'm currently waiting for the honey to slide down the walls of the extractor. As you said. Did it, like, not send that? Is that why you're saying that? Alright. Because, like, the message never appeared on my end. There we go. Actually, I really like this. I really like how the controls are feeling right now. It needs a lot of refinement, but just having my little character walk around and climb on stuff. Have the camera update is very nice. The emoji erased. Yeah, my first message. Yeah. I've gotten that a few times too. Here we go. Alright. What time is it? 8:22. There's still time to do something, right? I think so. I think just time to do something. Okay. Let's I don't know how far we'll get in, but let's start setting up like a pickup and drop skip. Well, let me try that yet. A pickup and drop script. There we go. Let's just do the very beginnings of it. So let's have the player. Let's give him a point, a hold point. It could be in its nose, I guess, for the time being. Let's see. A capsule. In the capsule, there's a nose. I'm going to make a hold point, just an empty hold point for now. It'll be on its little nose. There we go. And what we're going to do is have an object. There's a lot happening behind me right now. We have an object with a script on it that's going to have an area around it, so that when you enter that area, trigger area, when you enter that area and you press on a button, it's going to pick it up. I think that's how we're going to do it. So let's have an object right now. We'll use a cylinder. We're going to use a cylinder. Yes. Maybe it should be a ball. You know what? It's going to be a ball. Let's do that. And then we could drop it down the little slide we made. I like that idea. Sphere. Excuse me. Reset that, please. Thank you. This is a pretty big ball. Let's have it like 0.5. 0.5. So you have 2 mason jars full, it looks like, but there's gonna be more honey. Do you have enough for like a 3rd mason jar, you think? Or are we pretty much at mason jar capacity here? Use gravity. Let's just give it a quick save. Press on play. The ball falls to the ground. We can kind of push the ball around. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Cool. And the ball is going to have a trigger area on it, so let's call it a pick up object. And it's going to have a trigger on it. So here we go. And it is a grab area. And just do a collider. No, sphere collider. Sphere collider. Make sure it's a trigger. And the radius is going to be of like 2. And just double check, but if it plays, it does fall. Oh, I'm in VR now apparently. Okay, give me a second. Let's pop back out. Here we go. No, the mason jars are not filled yet. The honey needs to get to the little door at the bottom of the extractor. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. And this is an is trigger. We're going to add a script to this. We're already, yeah, you know what? We're starting to have quite a few scripts. So soon we're going to have to make some folders for these. Let's call this a pickup object is a really bad name of a object of a component. Pickable object, maybe? How do we feel about pickable objects? Grabbable objects? Grabbable balls? No, grabbable objects is a pretty good name. Or just like grabbable. Holdable? Carryable? Reable. Is that how you spell carryable? Is there such a word as carryable? Let's look it up. Excuse me? No. I'm trying to write here. Carryable. Look at that. Carryable. It is a word. It just looks really awkward. Okay. Here we go. Carryable. Grab area, drop this on it. It is a carryable object. So yeah. On enter. Hello, dang, work meeting kept getting longer and longer. Yeah, they do that. Hey, Kyle. Let's see. I was gonna have this, have it a carryable on it with an area. The problem with this is the same problem I had with the climbing location, right? So take a look at climbing location. Climbing location. Find climbing destination. Box collider climb location. Okay. And climbing component. How did I do this again? On trigger enter. We check if it has it on trigger enter, and the climbing location has just the information. Okay. Okay. So we'll go into carryable then. Should be carryable object at the very least. Object. I've just broken it. Give it a save. Go over here. It's not gonna like this. Carryable. Rename this. Carryable object. There we go. And this is gonna disappear. Thank you, Visual Studio. So very kind of you to open up and then remove the thing I've just renamed. Fantastic. We have carryable object. Okay. Climbing location. Blah blah blah. Climbing destination. It also has a climb to location. Currently, I don't actually think we need anything, but we may in the future. So let's just leave this as is, and let's create a new component for our player, so that when the player enters a trigger area, which is, it's going to check if it's carryable, a carryable object, and if it is, then we can pick it up. So, what have I been calling these? Player state component, player movement component, player climbing component. This is going to be player carry component. Player carry component. Instead of like pick up drop or grab drop or whatever, I think carry component is a good one. Thank you very much for opening up Visual Studio, but once again, if you're going to do that when I create a new script, at least open the new script. Here we go, carry component. And we're going to have the same joystick keypad thing. So let's just go over here. Switch control type. And I think we're going to move the control type because I've been recreating it every time. And every one of these should have a player component on it. So, update. Something like this for the time being. This is going to give me an error. Player state component. We have a player state. We're also going to have the controller type. Realistically, that should be in another one called like player components, but no, I'm not going to do that right away. Give it a save. We're going to have the player state. We're also going to have the control type. And this is going to be in the player state component dot. Ooh, I did not make that public. So is the meeting good at least? Control type. There we go. Was it a good meeting or was it a meeting that could have been an email? Oops. And now I have to do this every time, which is a little bit of a pain now that I think of it, but so be it. They're all going to use the exact same same thing. Player state component, player state component. There we go. And we're just going to copy this, go over to movement. Yeah, lots of organization and doing a new task tracking method. Oh, cool. Oops, I went one too many. That's good. At least it was fruitful then. I don't currently tend to have like unfruitful type meetings, but I have in the past meetings that really just, you know, they weren't worth having. Here we go. Ooh, lots of stretching, and we're going to go over here. Nope, we're going to go over here. Carry object. So we have the control type. We're going to do the exact same thing over here. Grab this, go up here, drop that, and we're just going to take all of this. And these are not useful in our case, so I can get rid of that. Get up key, space. Yeah, I think everyone who ever worked in an office has been in an abundance of pointless meetings. Yeah. Or meetings where it's essentially just someone showing off something that like it really didn't need to be the entire company, but here we are. Ugh. There we go. So we have the climb. We're gonna have the carry button, maybe? Let's have a private carryable object, and we'll call it held object equals null for now. Here we go. So here we go. We're doing this one over here. Let's go over here and input manager it. So we have the climb button. We have fire 2. I don't actually know which one fire 2 is. Let's call this grab. I'm using 3 different words: grab, hold, held, and carry. Oh, this is gonna be hell down the line. Okay, so we're gonna use grab over here. Grab does not equal 0, and access is in use. Right, carryable item. Let's have an access is in use, and we're also going to check if access is in use. Here we go. Let's actually grab all this. I regret removing everything. Here we go. Position change, access in use true. Here we go. And we'll get back to this. I guess, well, I'm using this. Let's use shift as the grab key, actually. Shift, left shift, yep. Do the grab. What are we at? 840? Still got a bit of time. So let's start with this one. If you've just pressed whatever button this is, the climb button, it is going to we are going to look at the player climbing and remember what we did. Right. On trigger, enter. On trigger, exit. Right. Player state component, player movement, player climbing. Oh no. Carryable object. Oh no. I've been working in the wrong place. Oh no. Well, the good thing is we didn't need anything in carryable objects, so what we're gonna do is player carry. Here we go. Carryable object. We're just gonna grab all this. Remove it. Save this. And just replace this. And pretend that never happened. Okay, so once we enter a trigger, I just want to make sure that I did indeed set my pickup object, sphere collider, grab area. Okay, it is set to trigger where the carryable object is. Fantastic. So if it is a carryable object, and here as well, climbing location is going to be carryable object. Here, copy this. If that is not null, we are going to take held object equals carryable object. That is null. If climbing location, right, that's not good. Let's change this. Here we go. So the idea is once we enter the trigger area, we're going to have we're going to check if it's a carryable object. If it is, we are going to put it in held object. That's not right. We are going to create a new variable just for this. And instead of held object, this is going to be new carryable. Here we go. Because we haven't held it yet. Here we go. So it is now a new carryable, and if we click on not climb but grab, I think we called it. Maybe it should have been grabbable object. Oh well. Oh well. We can rename it later. If we click on grab, access is in use. This is true. We want to check if held object, if we're not holding anything, only then do we do something. And that thing is that we're going to make held object the new carryable. New carryable, firstly. Secondly, we're going to move it just in the air. So we're going to move it to some place. So we're going to need a new thing over here. Serialize field. Don't need to put the tooltip right away. Private. Transform. Carry position. Sure. And we're going to say that the underscore held object we're going to give it some stuff. Carryable object, we're giving it a new method. So public carry object. This is going to be a void carry object, and then we're also going to create public void drop object, something like this. No, not carryable. Sorry, carry object, drop object. Wonderful. What kinds of stuff will the player be carrying? I was thinking, let me pop up our thing here. Player mechanics. Here we go. So it's gonna be potentially a bunch of different stuff. I don't have anything nailed down yet, but I'm thinking of having like different sizes of objects where maybe, you know, like in the Goose game here, you're carrying a bar of soap and it's quite small and it fits into the palm of your hand. If that's the case, you'll still be able to like climb on stuff. Or maybe we want to carry something a bit bigger, like a flower pot, and move that around, but then you're holding it with two hands because it's heavier. And then you won't be able to do certain things. So there's nothing nailed down, but it's essentially anything that's going to increase how much mischief that you're going to be doing in this little village. The vibe of the game I'm going for here is very much something along the lines of Untitled Goose Game in that you're not there to like hunt monsters or do any grand quest. You're just there to be an absolute pest to the villagers, and like sneak around or potentially even help them. That's definitely like a proper playstyle that you can do, just be helpful to the people. So it's small objects that the lutin will be able to carry. I imagine him to be quite small, not like this is a pencil small, but more like maybe ankle height, knee height maybe at best. So it'll be very small objects to start with. Even the large objects are going to be quite small. Yeah, hopefully in my roundabout way I did actually answer that question. Okay, carryable object. We can add later on in the carryable object like how heavy it is or how many hands it takes to carry, whatever, it's fine. I want to be able to take in a transform. Let's call it player for now, but I have a feeling I'm going to rename this like instantly. So I want to be able to say, okay, held object, right? Held object dot carry object. And I want to change information like where it's going. So maybe have the carry position in here. Give that to it, which will be the point on the loading. Hold on, here we go. On the player where the object is going to be held. So it's going to be in its little beak right now, or nose. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this. So it's going to be over here, and it has nothing on it. It's just a transform. Okay. Held object equals new. We're doing that. We're putting it there. And we're going to want transform. Oh, actually, carryable object is always put on a child, correct? Pickup object, nothing on it. Grab area, it's here so that we have access to this. Carryable object. Okay. So what I'm going to do, hold position, right, is do transform dot parent dot set parent to hold position as such. Next, we're going to want to move it in space. So transform dot parent dot local position equals vector3.0. Transform dot parent dot local rotation is going to equal quaternion dot identity, which is essentially 0. We don't want to change the scale in any way. That's fine. So right now it's changing who's the parent, so it's just going to float in the air. It's going to change the position, change the rotation, but it is currently colliding, right, with a rigid body, and or rather with the sphere collider, and it's going to be using gravity and like falling and stuff. So maybe we want to have it kinematic when it's in the air, when it's being held rather. Cool, that's fun. There's not a lot of games like that. Yeah, there really isn't. I was looking around. Originally the inspiration for the game actually came from other games that are a lot more gritty. The Skyrims, the Fallouts, the Zelda, Breath of the Wild, in which like I'm spent a stupid amount of time just running around, sneaking around, trying to get around a monster and, you know, causing mayhem. Hello, Ada. Yeah? Is there something you want to say? Is it because it's like an hour past your food time? Hmm? Yeah? Trying to sit on the chair? No? Trying to... No, you're bumping into the mic? Okay, okay. You're bumping into the mic a lot. Oh, come here, boo boo. Yeah. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Ada is currently telling me that the stream has lasted long enough, it seems. I'm going to finish a few more thoughts, Ada, and then I'll go and feed you. Okay? Okay. Go down for now. Ooh. Alrighty. So, rigid body. Yeah. Okay, let's get this done real quick. We'll be able to pick it up tonight, and I won't... maybe I won't drop it. It's a carryable object. Oh no, she's back. Oh no, she's back. Let's see. Cereal. Oh, she's rubbing. Oh no. Oh, she's touching stuff. Oh no. Okay. Serialized field. Private. Rigid body. Rigid body. Let's make sure there's a underscore in front of that, because it is a private. Rigid body dot kinematic equal true, and I believe that makes it just static. Let me double check what the tooltip says about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. The licky lickies are happening. My arm is slowly hurting more and more. Pick it up fast. Yeah. Let's see. Kinematic. What does it tell me? It tells me nothing. It literally tells me nothing. Okay, well, we're going to find out. Right? We're going to enter the area. We're going to press on a button. It's going to pick it up. We'll find out. Ada, don't fart on the microphone. No, don't push the microphone either. I entered the area. Oh, no reference. At least I found the button and it is the correct button. Object's not set to an instance of an object. Carry object, held object. Of course, because I didn't. New carryable. There we go. I just broke it. I shouldn't have done that. Please, Unity, don't crash. Okay. Now I should be able to pick it up. So the object has fallen to the ground. I come over here. I press it. Ooh. Ooh. A lot of things have gone wrong. A lot of things have gone wrong. But we did get to it and have it do something. Okay. Let's see. It's like clicking my fingers. Oh no. Carry object, carry position, right? And if I go into carry position, this is like the transform. Let me just double check that. It's very distracting, Ada. Carry position is not set. Hold point. I'm gonna call that carry position. Carry position. I think that might be it. I think that's what we're missing here. I go over to it. I click. Ah, yeah. And I'm zooming across the map. Because the collisions are going crazy. But it is working. Oh, right. I didn't check. Gravity is turned off, which is nice. Okay. Pick up object. So I pick it up, and rigid body is kinematic is now set to true, and it isn't falling. Collision detection. If I turn this off, is it better? Okay, I need to turn the collider off then. Okay. Of this. And as we found out, we have access to the rigid body, but we don't have access to the collider. Collider. We're gonna call this, oh no. Physics. Ada, you're making it so much harder. Physics. With that, see, here we go. Physics collider. Here we go. Copy. Go over here. Place that, and then I should have access to attached rigid body. Is kinematic, true. And we're also going to do, oh my god, Ada. Physics collider. She's like trying to lick my skin off now. That's a collider itself. Set. Conset, no. Enabled equals false. And I've miswrote false. Okay. Here we go. And this should sort of work. The physics collider, this will be done secondly. Actually, I think I'm gonna have it done before all that so the physics doesn't go crazy, but I don't think it should. Let's grab C, no, X. Paste. There we go. And is kinematic is false now. And physics enable equals true now. Wonderful. And carry component. If no held object, otherwise, else. Here we go. Else, we're going to do copy null and carry object drop object, and I don't think I need that to drop the object. Oh right, I also need to make sure that the parent is like not set to anything, so let's just set parent. I think I could put null in here and it'll work. There we go. Set parent null. Put the collisions on at the very end. There we go. Let's test it. Let's test it. And then no matter what, we're going to call it for tonight. Because, yeah, it is almost 9 o'clock. And Ada, very hungry, letting me know about it. So, get close to it. Click. No, I'm still testing, Ada. Don't worry. Definitely still testing. Yeah, no, I didn't mess it up, Ada. It's fine. Just don't even worry about it, Ada. There we go. Yeah. The test is still ongoing. Any minute now. I pick it up. Ooh, it broke, but in a way I didn't expect. And why does it break? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. No reference eruption. Huh. Well, that is going to be a mystery for next time. Thank you both for dropping by and commenting. Oh, actually, all three of you. That's right. Jace Games Too Much also popped in for a while. Telling me about the daddy in his basement. Or their basement, I don't know. Thank you to anyone else listening in the future, and this is it for tonight. Goodbye.